Are you thinking of starting a business alongside your regular job? Well, you're not the only one. In the first episode of Take the Leap, we covered some of the important things that you needed to know when starting your business. So in this video, we'll look at one of the ways many people start their business by working alongside a full-time or part-time job. There's various reasons why someone might want to be both employed and self-employed at the same time. Some people just want to earn a little more from their hobby or obtain more job satisfaction, while others may have aspirations of starting a business empire. If you're in full or part-time employment and are considering working for yourself on the side, then this video, which is the second in our series of self-employment simplifiers, will cover all of the things that you need to know. We'll discuss what steps you should take to get the ball rolling and what financial and professional responsibilities you'll have when juggling two jobs. Let's chat about freelancing on the side. When thinking about whether to start a side business, you'll probably have asked yourself whether you can feasibly get away with it. So before you get stuck in, it's really important that you actually read your current employment contract from front to back before making the decision to start a business while employed. You need to check that there isn't a clause that restricts you from starting your own business. It is of course a worst case scenario, but the last thing that you'd want to happen would be to breach your employment contract and risk getting the sack. Many secret entrepreneurs never tell their boss about their business ambitions. They work on them quietly, and if the glorious day comes that their business can support them financially, they hand in their notice. On the other hand, it might be less stressful and more beneficial to play things by the book. Once you understand how starting a business can affect your current employment status with your employer, it's always a good idea to have an open and honest conversation with your boss or HR department. Bear in mind that they might have objections if they think that your work for them is going to suffer. Don't underestimate how tired you'll be if you don't manage your schedule properly. Working two jobs can be very tricky to juggle. It's about work and life balance, not work and work. Spread yourself too thin and both jobs will suffer. Devote too much time to one and you'll hinder the other. Burning yourself out will mean that the quality of your work will suffer and you may end up without any income at all. You have a few options here. Firstly, you have the legal right to request flexible working from your employer, although they're still within their rights to deny that request if they have a legitimate reason. Secondly, if you're currently full-time, you could look at going part-time. Many employers are open to the idea of job shares or reduced hours these days. It certainly doesn't hurt to ask. The third option, and the one most moonlighters go for, is to just manage your time very carefully and be aware of the impact on your well-being and productivity. The trick is to find a balance that works for you. Maybe you can devote one weekend a month to your new business or weekday evenings. Just make sure that you have downtime to rest and spend with friends and family. Even if you're not the mindfulness or yoga type, make sure you make time for yourself to do something that takes your mind off your business for an hour when you can. Watch a film, hang out with your pet, read a book. You'll feel and perform better for it. If you do make the decision to hide your side gig from your employer, it's handy to know how much tiptoeing you'll have to do. Your tax affairs are entirely confidential, and HMRC won't inform your employer if you also register as self-employed. However, if you end up deciding to form a limited company to separate your business finances from your own, your details are then publicly available on Companies House. Your employer, if they started to suspect something fishy is going on, would be able to see you listed as a company director. If you're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or any of the other social media networks, you'll probably be using them to promote your new business. Social media is a great way to market yourself and get new customers, but be careful not to share anything with the public that you wouldn't want your boss to see.
Although you don't necessarily need to tell your employer about your new business, you definitely do need to tell HMRC about it. In fact, HMRC recommends that you let them know you're setting up as self-employed as soon as you start trading from your new business.
You're legally required to register with them as self-employed if you're a sole trader and earning more than £1,000 in the tax year, which in the UK runs from the 6th of April to the 5th of April every year. If you're already employed full-time, this is likely to happen as soon as you receive your first self-employed income. We recommend you register as self-employed as soon as you are ready to start sending an invoice or selling anything. And unlike your employed income, which is taxed at source through PAYE, you'll need to start completing a self-assessment to let HMRC know about your self-employed income.
The good news is you'll also be able to claim any allowable business expenses you have from setting up and running your new business, and these can reduce the amount of tax that you need to pay. We'll talk more about business expenses in an upcoming episode.
The long and short of it, though, is that you declare all of your income from any source, including your employed income, and HMRC will calculate what extra tax you owe. You have until the 5th of October after the end of the tax year to register for your self-assessment, and then the annual filing and payment deadline for your self-assessment is the 31st of January each year, with another payment usually due on the 31st of July each year. You'll need to make sure you put money aside to meet any tax due and avoid missing the deadlines, or you will face fines and penalties.
Our next video will simplify the subject of registering as self-employed and will explain the differences between working as a sole trader or setting up a limited company.
Please remember to subscribe to our channel and like and share our video, and we'll see you next time on Take the Leap.